In what ways do your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real-life media products? What is the purpose and ultimate goal of a music video? Well, the harsh reality is there has to be a marketable product, something that is memorable, that will stick in the audience's mind, that will be shared, enjoyed by the target audience. So, how do I achieve this with my own coursework? Well, the only way to fully create this sort of product is to understand the codes and conventions of other music videos, and therefore imitate and develop them, and in some cases even challenge the status quo. Well, I started by looking at the conventions identified by Jon Stewart, Andrew Goodwin, and Eric Davis. So therefore, for this first question, I thought I would make a bit of a off-the-cuff director's commentary, looking at these different theorists and applying it to my music video. Enjoy. Firstly, I addressed the conventions identified by Jon Stewart. Now, Stewart highlighted that above all else, a music video is a commercial product, with the primary aim of promoting a profitable star image. I took this on board when designing the final product. The artist, she is constantly filling the frame with close-up and extreme close-up shots, and this makes a real memorable and impactful performance. A key example of this is when the camera pans out from an extreme close-up at the start of the music video. It's kind of away, drawing you away from the artist, kind of how you're inhabiting her space. The framing also supports this. While the artist is in character, she is often presented in mid-shots, pulled away from the audience. This kind of shows a distinction between her playing the role of someone in the office scene and her as a performance. In the performance, she is much closer, she is much more relatable and therefore a much more tangible performance. Another convention I attempt to implement in my music video is that of voyeurism. This is the sense that the artist is being monitored and watched in an almost perverse manner. This was addressed by Andrew Goodwin, who defined this as a means of kind of selling the artist. The artist is being sold visually. Now, I kind of reference this by having the artist being kind of monitored in the office scenes in particular. However, at the same time, I wish to challenge this convention. Although it's true the artist is being watched, she is also the one watching the world, as shown by her sitting in the performance scenes, looking out on this world. So while the world watches her, she watches the world back in an almost defiant act against the established conventions. My digipack and advert also explored the theme of being documented. This was inspired by an exhibition I attended at the Tate Modern named Posing for the Camera. This exhibition focused on the relationship between the artist and the camera. The way the camera affects the artist was a core throughout the digipack and advert. The front of the digipack showed the artist breaking the rules for passport photographs, symbolising her rebellion against the status quo. The advertisement also followed this view, being a torn Polaroid image, symbolising the fractured view that photography conveys about the artist and how it cannot truly capture the core of their being. Not only do I reference art, I include other intertextual references, another convention of typical music videos. For example, the opening of the music video is a visual homage to the surrealist work of Luis Brunel, in particular his acclaimed collaboration with Salvador Dali in, and I'm going to really mispronounce this now, Un Chien Andalou, which uses surrealist images and sound to visually disturb the audience. This is also the case in my music video, using the same kind of surrealist elements, with the kind of the gritty tap, the uncomfortable music, the black and white effects. All of this kind of emulates the film. I also try to incorporate elements from the film Brazil by Terry Gilliam. In this dystopian future, the main character finds himself trapped in a bureaucratic office job, this hyper-caricature of our working life. I kind of try to draw elements in from these when shooting my own office scenes, to kind of give this whole depressing, uncaring world that Gilliam does so amazingly. I also included a few more explicit references. For example, the repeating text, "You're dead," kind of scrolling up the screen, was a kind of a reference to Stanley Kubrick's famous all work and no play scene in The Shining. I must point out that all references used in the final product would be deeply appealing to my target audience, because they consider themselves highly literate in these artistic products. One of the most fascinating conventions within music videos is how you represent narrative. Now, a traditional music video would implement a sort of Todorov narrative structure with a beginning, middle, and end. It's chronological, it flows from one event to the other, and it's all blends seamlessly together. Now, I didn't really want to do this. I decided to challenge this convention and instead implement a kind of cyclical narrative. This was identified by Cameron, by the way. My music vision doesn't suggest a linear event, but a cycle, repeating itself over and over again. This idea of this montage of different aspects of this artist's life, and kind of it's a whole symbol for the repetitive mundanity of everyday life. Another convention was noted by Stewart. Stewart stated that music videos allows access to the performance lifestyle to the degree they'd be unobtainable by any other means, such as a live performance. However, I decided to develop this convention further, as typically this is used to promote a aspirational lifestyle, wealth, money, this kind of celebrity status that we all dream to have. Instead, my artist is shown in a gritty, relatable setting, shown through the mise-en-scene elements being set in low-paid work environment and wearing stylish but achievable and relatable clothing. This is consistent with my promotional material. This again is serving my target audience. They want to relate and understand their artist as a flawed human being on par with themselves. I also challenged a convention proposed by Andrew Goodwin. Goodwin's observed the relationship within music videos between the lyrics and the visuals, whether that be illustrating, amplifying, or contradicting. My music video challenges this assertion by representing not the lyrics but the overall tone of the video. For me, the song was the definition of a depressing, unforgiving world. A world that is bleak, that your only option is to stay dead, hide your emotions, and become part of the inhuman race. I therefore decided the best way to do the song justice was to represent the bleak tone. This is due in part to the comments of Eric Davis, who pointed out that the music synesthesia, this word, only requires the mood to latch onto develop a narrative concept. This is achieved through the mise-en-scene, focusing on the harsh realities of a low-paid work environment, whether it be cleaning, working in an office, or a coffee shop. All these job roles share the same perception for being low-paid, no future, and no guarantee, due to their ever-increasing use of zero-hour contract, in particular in the UK. To further emphasize this, I use a filter to saturate the colour, creating a washed-out look throughout the video. This all culminates in a cold, emotionless environment, which is in line with the tone of the music video. So, what conclusions can you draw from this? Well, I like to think that my music video challenges, addresses, and develops a wide range of established conventions within the media. It tailors these conventions to optimally suit my target audience, for as in the end, it must be a highly profitable and commercial product that must appeal to my target audience, and I think I've achieved that. Thanks for listening.